Welcome to the Nicholas Brown Podcast, a podcast about target marketing, business leadership, and personal development. Each week, we explore current social media marketing tips for your business, along with interviews from top business leaders and personal development. Now, here is your host, Nicholas Brown.
Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to the podcast show. And if you watch it on YouTube, welcome to the YouTube. I'm going to continue. This is day 2, or this is episode number 12 for the 10 best tips for achieving anything you want in life. So number 1, we're going to cut this short too because it's more detailed. So as I always say before, I'm going to try to keep between 10 and 15 minutes, no more than 20 minutes, if that. So let me hit my timer and we'll start here. And here's what's going to happen. Yesterday, we went over the 10 best tips for achieving anything you want in life because this was part of the law of attraction. So the goal is on the Facebook Live, I'm going to have a weekly show. I'm going to start off possibly every other day until it'll just eventually get to weekly, though. But I'm building a foundation. That's what I'm building, the foundation. And I want to shout out to an actual listener name, which he reached out to me. That is awesome. That let me know. That gives me motivation. Sydney Allen Evans. Sydney Allen Evans, which the name of his company is. I want to give a shout out, which I got to reach back out to him either this evening or tomorrow. Sydney Evans Audio. But that motivates me. That excites me. Let me know. Keep doing what I'm doing, okay? So, but where he stood out, he reached out to me. He did his due diligence. He did whatever it took to reach out to me, and we went over what his question was or what his goals are. We will continue, though. But I believe in shout out. I love that perfect doing. When he just did it, So that's what I'm doing. I mean, it didn't matter what type of fancy website or anything like that. He reached out. I just gave the basics, which I said before. It was on social media. He reached out. He said he looked at the Facebook, looked at my Instagram. I don't know if he looked at my YouTube, but he listened to the podcast, which you guys are listening to. So that's awesome. So that lets me, like I said, to stay focused and keep doing what I'm doing. So I'm going to complete that because I wanted to build, but we're going to build a bridge. I love to see you guys successful. My thing is my time of life. I like the after effect. I like the odds of people saying I can't do it or you can't do it. And I'll be on your team and give you that step because that's what it takes, step after step after step. And I want to see results. I'm more excited the after effect of the odds you're building at. So once again, shout out to Mr. Sydney. You'll hear more from him in time also. But here we go. Like I said, it's time I get off. I get passionate again. And I get off on the point. So that's how I am. I'm just like the church guy, the pastor. Everybody's looking back. It's 12 o'clock. When I was little, everybody used to look back at the clock on the board because they was ready for the pastor to go ahead and finish up so they can go home and get ready for the game. I get that way sometimes. When I say it's 15 minutes, we'll do it 15 to 20 minutes where I have a timer since I don't have anyone, a guest speaker or host, anything to put me forward, focus on the project or whatever and try to be on time. So here we go. Yesterday, last episode that you were listening to was episode 11. This is episode 12, if I'm not mistaken. The 10 best tips for achieving anything you want in life. Number 1, focus on commitment, not motivation. Here's how to focus on commitment. Went over that, right? And it says, here's how to focus on commitment. I give my point. I'm give you guys. So let me bring this down here so I can read this PowerPoint. Number 1, it says devote at least 15 minutes a day to your challenge, which is actually 5. It's 5 of these. So here's what it says on there. Let me break it down. Just how committed are you to your goals? How important is it for you? And what are you willing to sacrifice in order to achieve it? If you find yourself fully committed, motivation will follow. This was from yesterday, okay? And here's how to focus on commitment. Number one, which is a 5. It's five ways to do this. That's what we're going to break it down to the next day, or the other 10, the other 9 of 10. Here's number one, but one has a breakdown of 5 ways to stay committed. Focus on commitment. Number one, devote at least 15 minutes a day to your change. Even if it's just a walk around your neighborhood, one less cigarette, reading an inspirational article, do it. Mix it up or two. No one wants to be stuck doing some tedious workout regimen. It makes it seem so much more miserable, doesn't it? So pick up the paddleball set, the tennis rackets, or the frisbee, and go spend time with your friends and family, or families or friends. So this is coming from the source. I said before, you can go do your due diligence. It's coming from success.com, which I have the link. If you go to my YouTube, you'll see me talking on my PowerPoint. You'll see the link here also. But you guys listen on the podcast, it's a long link. Don't worry about it. If you want to see it, go to my YouTube or go to my website. You'll see my website. You should see that video on the website. I'll add that in time, though. But get this. Basically, devote at least 15 minutes a day. It's just saying get inspiration. You know, what do you like to do for fun? But do it at least 15 minutes a day, which my thing, I like working out. At times, in the evenings, when my daughter was playing basketball, I would love to go watch her basketball. I'll go watch a basketball game or practice at that time, you know. So that was enjoyment for me. That was relief for me. As far as working out, that's no problem. Running, lifting, which I got to get back to lifting. You know, something you like to do for 15. I'm telling you what's good for you. A good 15-minute workout. That's awesome. But you rest like every minute or two, but you get that heart moving. So you can do a 15-minute workout like that and get some endurance. So number 2 is fork over the truth. Until I decided, this is what they're saying on there, this is what I'm reading. Until I decided to get honest with myself about why I was reaching for chips instead of taking healthy risks, I thought it was all about the food. In reality, I was getting a huge payoff for stuffing food down my face. I got to play it safe. What's your payoff for not changing? Until you can get real, you'll never be able to stick with your plan. It's true. Behavioral modification teaches us that we repeat behavior that makes us feel good. What they mean to us is until the goal becomes larger than the payoff, you're always going to choose feeling good over feeling uncomfortable. Some pain is good. There's a difference between being in pain and being hurt. You know, some football players or some doctors or some spiritual leaders say it's such thing as good pain. That's endurance. You know, so that strikes another thing, another thought too. Make sure you guys sign up for that law of attraction, that goal, that 30-day goal plan. This is similar information. That's why this is similar. I found this online, which I can relate to that, which is just similar what I look for, what you guys look for too. You should. Starting a business, either your personal development or starting a business or doing sales or trying to sell your product or service. It's going to start with your inside. Faith, fitness, family, finance. Finance is last. Take care of the other 3. If you got negative or toxic family members, just step away. Step away. Get in the right circle. Get with the right friends. You know, just get rid of the stinking thinking, the toxic. Number 2 is you got to exercise. Without your health and strength, you can't endure. I mean, why get all the money if you're not healthy for? You spend all your money because you do medical bills or whatever. High diabetes, you know, you're not eating right. Faith, spirit, non-denomination. Whatever you believe in, that's fine, though. If you don't believe in something, you fall for anything, you know, so you got to believe in something, but focus. Faith, fitness, friends, finance, or faith, fitness, family, finance, either or. Follow that. So fork over the truth. So until you decide to get honest with yourself about why I was reaching for chips instead of taking risks. That's what they're talking about, eating healthy. So that's what they're saying that part. And I just gave my 2 cents, if you want to call it that. Okay. Number 3, I always focus on that. That's where it points right back out. Law of attraction. Meet your goals. Get that template. Put it on a PDF file. Print it out. Go forward. Just write it out. Make your own template. This is part right too. I don't even have to read it, but I bet if I read it, it's similar to what I'm talking about. But I'm about to read it out. So instead of concentrating on losing 20 pounds in 20 days, my goal was simply to begin by eating 5 fruits and vegetables a day. I truly believe that good choices lead to more good choices. Unfortunately, it works the other way too. And my goals was simply to honor the 5-a-day plan. I didn't expect an overnight miracle or body transformation. Rather, I spent months developing this new pattern of behavior before adding anything else to my plate. In other words, one behavior at a time. That's right. That's about focus. That's what it says on here. Number 1, focus on commitment, not motivation. Here's how to focus on commitment. Number 3 is set realistic goals. You got to write that down. Hit your target. Plan your target. Target your plan. Plan your target. Target your plan. Listen to that. Plan your target. Target your plan. Plan you got to write down. You got to be focused on what you want to hit. That's a target, right? You focus on what you hit, but what you wrote down. Either or. Front, back, front. Okay? That's what it's talking about. And they gave this is related to John C. Maxwell, very good speaker. And it says John C. Maxwell is part of, I guess, his blog I have to see on there. John C. Maxwell, are you stretching toward your goals or just coasting? Strong. So, number 4, we got 3 minutes. I'm good on time. Number 4 of the top 5 ways to focus on commitment, not motivation, is never eliminate. Wow. Replace. I have this saying on my Instagram. That's one of the motivation. I think I placed that 2 days ago. This is strong. I can relate to that. Never eliminate, replace. It says, when I go to the movies, I want popcorn. My husband only chooses the heavily buttered and salted kind, so I sneak in. Excuse me. Hey, I'd buy it if they sold it, she says. I'm assuming this is a woman. My Jolly Time 94% fat-free buttered popcorn. Here's what she said. I want to repeat that. When I go to the movies, I want popcorn. My husband only chooses the heavily buttered and salted kind. So I sneak in. Hey, I don't, and she says here in, I guess, parentheses, I don't even know that saying. Hey, I'd buy it if they sold it. My Jolly Time 94% fat-free buttered popcorn. She goes on, if I simply tried to eliminate eating popcorn at the movies while he was munching next to me with sheer delight, I'd probably find my hand coated with grease before the previews were over. If your goal includes eliminating a specific behavior, it must be replaced with a new behavior. That's right. If you want permanent change. If we don't substitute a behavior, we end up creating a big void that leads to obsessive thinking, which eventually leads to falling back into old patterns. For the group that is my age, remember Michael Jackson moonwalk? You slide, you get in that, don't get in that pattern. Stop sliding, stop moonwalking backwards, okay? We move. I have moonwalked every once in a while, but I caught myself and stopped. Joke. Number five on focus on commitment, not motivation. And we're on time, outstanding. Here's how to focus on commitment. Number 5, find support. Very few people are able to get where they're going on their own. We all need encouragement and support throughout our journey of change. For you, maybe that's a friend to hold you accountable, or a group, as I said before, that is like-minded in where they want to go. There's a power in numbers. That's correct.